Guys ain't ground folks. Guys, I am on the way to an existing customer to go do a heat maintenance. We've been here a bunch of times before on camera. This is the same commercial property in which the compressor blew up at, and then eventually we came back to replace one of the condensers, I think for the second floor. It was some area up there. But guys, I am on the way to the supply house now. I gotta pick up, I believe, 5 or 6 filters. But let me pick up what I need and let's head over there. I'll see y'all when I get inside. Guys, here we have our Peerless boiler. I just turned it off. I turned all 6 thermostats on. Everything turned on. Right now the air handlers are still running, but I turned the boiler off because what I'm gonna do is replace the filters and all the air handlers before we do anything with the boilers. Alright, I'm gonna need a flathead to pry these filters out. But guys, this is gonna take a little while. I gotta do 1, 2, 3, 4 down here and then 2 upstairs. All right guys, let me take these filters out, mark them and put the new ones in, and we'll be back when I get back down here. I'll be right back. Second thought, nope, I want you guys to roll with me. Me and you guys, we gotta become one on these service calls. You get what I'm saying? So check this out. I wanna show you the last repair that was made here this past summer. The drain got backed up. And you see the stains never went away, but we flushed the drains, and I also replaced that filter. That was my last one, my last 16 by 20 filter. But I got spare filters. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a spare on top of that unit, so either me or one of my other guys, we come back, they can just swap the filter out without going back to the truck. But these 2 are the ones that definitely needs to get replaced. And you guys know, any commercial jobs or very large scale residential jobs, it's best to mark where everything is, so you don't have to play the guessing game with what goes where in the event of something breaking down. But let me get what I need here. Let's get this filter taken care of. I'll be right back. Just in time. See that? We certainly don't want to have this unit start leaking water, all because of a dirty filter. So take this out. And there's quite a bit of space back here. All right guys, let me mark the filter, put this in, and let's rock and roll. I'll be right back. Guys, 1 down, 1 to go. I just gotta move some stuff out the way. And another thing, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but for the heat maintenance, the filters are only concerned as far as with these vents bleed out automatically, and unless the customer got work done to the piping, which could introduce air into the system, that will be a separate situation on its own if we had to bleed air out of the pipes. But typically, once we test these units, if I got a good supply temperature coming out the vents, there's no need for me to mess with the vent or try to drain it down or do anything like that. I did have to do this before, not here, but with another customer. I think he had an oil boiler and he had an external hydro coil similar to these. I had to do that once, but yeah guys, if it's not broke, I'm definitely not gonna fix it. And especially if I'm getting good temperatures coming out the vents, 100 plus degrees, that's good money. All right, let me get my nulling pad and let's get this filter out. I'll be back. All right, guys. Just in time. We got the new filter in. Now, I'm gonna clean up and I'll meet you guys back in the basement near the boiler. Guys, we're downstairs at our Peerless boiler. Let me look at the BTUs. What is this? 200,000. Yep, this is a big boy. And one of the questions I had when I first seen this layout here, I'm thinking if they had 6 hydro coils in the air handler, why not just use a storage tank for the hot water instead of a standalone water heater? But then you got to think about it. This isn't your conventional 40-gallon water heater. This is a big boy, 75 gallons. I thought this was 100, but nonetheless, guys, this isn't a residential building. If it was, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't need a standalone water heater. You can probably get by with a storage tank, but I think the limits of storage tanks is the size of how much hot water you need. I don't think a storage tank would be enough to consistently heat all the sinks and everything that they have here. But the more you know. Now let's get to the tool of the day. Now guys, if you do Well McLean and Peerless, any 90% boilers, for the most part, we call these star screws. The hospital I used to work at back in the day, all the PSAT units used to have tamper-proof screws, and they look very similar to what I'm showing you right here. And guys, the best tool to remove these star screws here is to get a star bolt. This came with my DeWalt drill bit kit. I actually have 2 of these. I got the old one and I got another one in the truck. But guys, without this drill bit I'm showing you in my hand, I don't know how you would get these off. If you accidentally round these screws out, it will be close to impossible to remove the sensors and the spark rods for cleaning. So always make sure you guys are having the right tools, and make sure you take care of your tools so you don't have to keep buying these, but make sure you have what you need so it saves you a lot of time. All right, now let's take this out. Man, these things are like amber red. Well, I'm just looking at the porcelain here to make sure nothing's cracked. And this boiler is past 10 years old, but it's still kick and tell. Porcelain looks good. All right, guys, let me clean the sensors. I'll be right back. Let me get what I need here. All right, guys. Everything's rocking and rolling. There you have it. I just got to put the doors back on. There you have it. Heat maintenance. We replaced all the filters, cleaned the sensors, and we'll shoot back out here in the spring for the AC maintenance. Because I got to do the paperwork, and it's raining like crazy outside. But I got to get rolling. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.